Hello everyone, today we are back with a new episode that is pregnancy and embryonic development. So this is the seventh part of your human reproductive system. So let's get started without further delay. So what are the main things we are going to learn today? We will be learning about how this pregnancy happens, what is pregnancy, and how the embryonic development is happening. Okay, so in the previous episode we have already learned about fertilization and implantation, and we know that trophoblast is getting implanted. So till that it's over. Now if you have not gone through those episodes, previous 6 episodes, please do go through it, and I am putting the link up below in the description box and above in the I link above. So go through it, and please don't skip the video in the middle, because throughout the episode I'll be teaching many important concepts related to pregnancy and embryonic development. So stay tuned throughout the episode, and if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel to know more and more interesting topics as per your CBSE curriculum. So let's get started with today's episode. So here is today's topic, that is pregnancy and embryonic development. Okay, so we have seen in implantation that the trophoblast is getting implanted. Now what is happening here? Now finger-like projections appear on the trophoblast. They are called the chorionic villi. Okay, so you can say villi or villi, anything. So they are finger-like projections. They are appearing on the trophoblast, so which are surrounded by the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. So this finger-like projection, what is it surrounded by? By the uterine tissue and the maternal blood. Now the chorionic villi and the uterine tissue, they become interdigitated with each other. That is, they are united with each other. They are interdigitated and jointly form a structural and functional unit between the developing embryo, fetus, and the maternal body called the placenta. So the chorionic villi and the uterine tissue, they are combining together to form a structural and functional unit between the developing embryo, that is the fetus, and the mother's body. So there is a bonding, there is a we can say that there is a organ which is formed in between the mother and the fetus. That is the functional and the structural unit is called the placenta. So what is placenta? The placenta facilitates the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the embryo, and also removes the carbon dioxide and excretory waste materials produced by the embryo. So these we are telling the functions of the embryo, because we have told it is a structural as well as a functional unit, right? So the first important thing is that it is supplying oxygen, supplying nutrients from the mother's blood to the embryo, and from the carbon dioxide from the we can say from the body of the embryo through the body of the mother to excreting it to outside, right? So it is also removing the carbon dioxide and the excretory waste products produced by the embryo. The placenta is connected to the embryo through the umbilical cord, which helps in the transport of substances to and from the embryo. So this umbilical cord is the connector. It is connecting, it is transporting oxygen and nutrients, it is taking out the excretory products from the embryo to the mother's body, and from the mother's body it is excreted outside. So these which is helping the substances to transport to and from the embryo. Placenta also acts as an endocrine tissue and produces several hormones. So what are the hormones? Human chorionic gonadotrophin, in short you can say HCG, human placental lactogen, or it is called HPL. So it is human placental lactogen, that is HPL, estrogens, progesterones, etc. So in later phase of pregnancy, a hormone called relaxin is also secreted by the ovary, right? So till now we were telling that placenta secreting these hormones, okay? Human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen, estrogens, progesterones, these are being secreted by the placenta. But in the later phase, ovaries is secreting this hormone called relaxin. Okay, so let us remember that HCG, HPL and relaxin are produced in women only during pregnancy. So these three hormones will not be present in the blood of a normal female. They will be present in the blood only if the female is pregnant. Okay, so in addition, during pregnancy, the hormones like estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, prolactin, thyroxine are increased in several folds in the maternal blood. So these hormones, they are increasing in several folds in the mother's blood or maternal blood. So this increased production of these hormones, it is essential for the growth of the fetus and metabolic changes in the mother and maintenance of pregnancy. So these are all required for the fetal growth, for the changes in the mother's metabolism, and as well as for the maintenance of pregnancy. Okay, so what is happening immediately after implantation? So we will move on to that. So immediately after implantation, what is happening? Immediately after implantation, the inner mass, that is the embryo, it differentiates, it divides into an outer layer which is called the ectoderm, an inner layer which is called the endoderm, and the mesoderm, that is a middle layer between the ectoderm and the endoderm. It appears very soon, that is called mesoderm. So 3 layers we are getting here. So what are these 3 layers? These 3 layers in turn, they are giving rise to the all tissues and organs in adults. So we need 3 layers: ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm. These are very important because they are giving rise to all the organs, all tissue organs in our body. Okay, so it needs to be mentioned here that the inner cell mass contains certain cells which are called stem cells. Okay, and these stem cells can be preserved for the future use of treatment of any autoimmune disorder or disorders which are related to blood. Okay, so there are certain cell mass which contains stem cells which have the potency to give rise to all types of tissues and organs. Okay, and these stem cells from the blood, they can be preserved at the time of birth. So that from the fetus, after the fetus is born, from that the stem cells can be preserved from the inner cell mass. So they will be helpful for any kind of blood related disorder treatment in future for that fetus. But these all are complex processes and they are very costly to preserve the stem cells for future use, and that is at so much costly that we are not even going for this stem cell preservation. Okay, so let us move on to this. So ectoderm, endoderm and mesoderm are the 3 layers which are responsible for the development of the tissue organs. So what are the major features of embryonic development at various months of pregnancy? The human pregnancy lasts for 9 months. Now, do you know how many months pregnancy lasts in dogs, elephants and cats? So this is your homework. You should find it out in dogs, how many months pregnancy lasts in elephants and in cats. Okay. Now, find out this, you will be finding out in humans. After 1 month of pregnancy, the embryo's heart is formed. The first sign of growing fetus may be noticed by listening to the heart sound. So after 1 month only, if with the help of stethoscope or if you go to a doctor, you can hear 2 heartbeats in mother's body. One is mother's own and one is the fetus's. Now carefully through the stethoscope. By the end of the 2nd month of pregnancy, the fetus develops limbs and digits. That is, fingers and limbs will be developed by 2nd month. By 12 months, that is 1st trimester, most of the major organs are formed. For example, limbs, external genital organs as well as are well developed. Now the first movement of the fetus and the appearance of the hair on the head are usually observed during the 5th month, and by the end of about 24 weeks, end of another 2nd trimester, the body is covered with fine hair. So in the 1st trimester, what we are seeing, major organ systems, that is limbs and external genital organs are formed. By 24 weeks or the end of 2nd trimester, the body is covered with hairs, the eyelids separate and the eyelashes are also formed. So the baby is almost fully formed, and by the end of 9 months of pregnancy, the fetus is fully developed and it is ready for delivery. So this is all we are going to study in this pregnancy and embryonic development. So in that, now we are going to see a diagrammatic representation, and there we will be studying what we have studied about placenta and all. We will go through that in the next slide. Now this is, you see, I have taken a picture of a womb. Now here you can see the finger-like projections, which are the chorionic villi. These are the finger-like projections that are appearing from the trophoblast after implantation. Now this is the maternal blood intervillous space. So this is the maternal blood and the fetal blood space in between the villi. So intervillous space. Okay. Now this is the chorionic plate. This plate is the chorionic plate, and this is the amniotic sac, and inside that this is amnion. This sac is the amnion. This is the smooth chorion. This layer. And this is decidua parietalis. Okay, this layer is decidua parietalis. Now here, this part is the umbilical cord, which is connecting the fetus with the mother's body. Okay, and this part is the placenta, which is formed, this structural functional unit is formed to form a connection between the fetus and the mother through this umbilical cord, right? So this full is the uterine cavity. This is the mucus plug. It is almost there, and this is the vagina, so that the fetus should not come out unless and until it is almost full term growth and all the hormones are in that, they are working in that way that the fetus should be fully developed. In cases, there are certain emergency cases when before 9 months also premature delivery has to be done because of the mother's health, because of the fetus is not in a correct position, or the fetus is not giving response, or it's not growing properly. Many other circumstances arise when the mother is not well. So for that, there is a mucus plug, and normally this mucus plug opens, the water breaks in this amniotic sac, the water breaks, then the baby will come out of this opening, right? So that part, that is the delivery part or the parturition part, we will be studying in the next episode. So still then, you should stay tuned and subscribe to my channel so that you get to know what I am bringing in the next part of this episode. That will be the last part of human reproductive system. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and please do share it with your friends as much as you can. Thank you.